Alright, movie fans, what's up? Best movies, great movies we talk on this channel for great movie lovers like you, like me, and everyone who watches this channel. Okay, now we're gonna go into our next thing of this movie, not Little Mermaid, but Peter Pan and Wendy. I mean, I had to watch it a second time to be able to do a review, so it usually takes me like 3 times to see an actual movie to be able to do a real review or something, but I saw Peter Pan and Wendy a second time, and I gotta say, I really liked what's his face, Jude Law as Captain Hook. He does a great job as Captain Hook. I liked how like they kind of made it a little. I mean, I understand in the original he normally both parts at the ending when Captain Hook gets eaten by the crocodile, but the crocodile was only shown once in this Peter Pan and Wendy remake. One time in the movie. They didn't really show the crocodile very often, and eventually, partly Captain Hook in this movie was not all bad. He was part bad, yes he was bad, but he was also part good. Because he told, it was basically a story of him and Hook, him and Peter Pan, how they used to be friends. They were talking about that. Like, the only thing I did not really understand in this Peter Pan live action Wendy, of Peter Pan and Wendy, I didn't understand, like, Wendy kind of being kind of more, her and Peter's relationship was a little different in this movie. Then they usually when Peter Pan and Wendy are all when they're together, they're usually get along very well and get very and become and are really best friends. But in this one, there was some difference between the relationship. For what I got out of Peter Pan and Wendy. Wendy and Peter Pan partly had arguments a little bit. They had disagreements. There was a little bit different in Peter Pan and Wendy that it was changed from the original Peter Pan, and the other Peter Pans where Wendy and Peter Pan are best friends. They become best friends at the very end of the movie, but part of the movie, Wendy and Peter kind of have, like, the ways they're thinking. Like, Peter turns into kind of like a, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say it'd be rude or something, but it's just, I didn't think Peter Pan and Wendy was great. I no offense. It's a okay, decent movie. Okay, it was good. I just did not really. Peter Pan and Wendy didn't really get me as well as other movies would do. It just didn't. Their relationship was different in this movie when they were in Neverland. But I mean, the Lost Boys were great, and I'm glad that they featured a character in Peter Pan and Wendy with somebody with Down syndrome who played one of the Lost Boys. That was really cool. Now that was really cool to see that they got a guy with a kid with Down syndrome playing one of the Lost Boys. I loved how they put somebody with disabilities in one of these Disney live action movies. This was great. And the guy was so cute, really interesting, really cool to see him and the way everything. It was great to bring into this movie. Great to include people with disabilities. Thank you for that, Disney. That was a great thing you did for that. I really, that's what I get thumbs up for good stuff about Peter Pan and Wendy. I love Jude Law's Captain Hook. Really great. He's the only actor I knew in this Peter Pan and Wendy movie. I didn't really know any other ones, but I like how the ending, Captain Hook didn't actually get eaten by the crocodile. Instead, he kind of was in the water, but he was just laying on something, and Peter came back for him because Peter didn't want him to die. But he did end up falling into the water. They did do that, but they didn't have the crocodile eat him. So it was like, this was a little different. They had the crocodile for one part. That was it, which was interesting. I mean, this movie was definitely, I feel like, a good connection, like, kind of like Peter Pan film, one that was, like, all about friendship, more about family and the relationship about Hook and Peter Pan, really connected pretty well. Like, basically, I mean, it wasn't. This was when they were already enemies in this movie, but Pan kind of had a little bit of a different heart than he does in other movies, where him and Hook were fighting and sword fighting and stuff, like normal from the original. Just they kind of had a relationship where Pan didn't want to kill Pete, didn't want to kill Hook, and it was just interesting. It was different than the originals. But I gotta say, no offense, Peter Pan and Wendy was great. I loved it. I thought the movie was wonderful. Everything about Jude Law's Captain Hook is just really good. He was great at that role. Really, really great. And all that. So, besides that, this is my review of Peter Pan and Wendy. Hit that subscribe button if you love this content, and we'll talk later. Hope you have a great night.